Happy Saturday night. Welcome to Old Guy's Kitchen. We'll see if anybody pops in. Just kind of hang out in the meantime. Gonna be doing some S.O.S. That's right. S.O.S. Was that song? S.O.S. Well, ABBA, right? See, but I don't sing very well. That's why I'm not in the group ABBA.
Natalie Nicole.
Good evening, Natalie. How are you? Old guy is doing okay. Glad you could make it. Doing the old S.O.S. Art. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Say no more. Say no more. Kicked up a notch though. Didn't do it a little bit differently than you normally might do. So try a little bit different of a version here. And
Turtle King.
Hi, Turtle King. Good evening there, young sir. Appreciate you coming in to see this old man.
Sweet Cal Cindy.
Hello, Cindy.
Eli.
Geez, everybody coming in all at once, and that's great. Come on in, folks. Pull up a seat. Follow the yellow rubber line to your chairs. It is there for your safety and convenience. Hi, John. Good evening, good evening. So, S.O.S. tonight, right? Everybody know what that means. Stuff on a shingle. So, I'm going to do this a little bit differently tonight. Slightly different version. And it's going to start with some bread bowls. I'm going to get them into the oven here in just a second. I figured, it's on toast, on bread, right? So we're going to switch up the bread to start with, and so the toast is now becoming bread bowls, and it's just something to say?
Chris.
Hi, Chris. Guten Abend. So, and it's just your basic bread dough, your 5 basics: flour, water, sugar, yeast, and salt. So, a basic bread dough is all it takes.
Crazy Dad.
Hey, Tim. Guten Abend, sir. So, I'm just going to uncover these bread bowls. They've been rising here for the last few hours. There's no way that I could actually just mix up the bread and rise it and so forth and have it, during the show. But I can bake it, and I can show you what they're looking like so far. So, I always think, it's just my thinking, crazy me, that if you're going to make a bread bowl, cook it in a bowl. Give it a bowl shape. And I'm going to put these in the oven in just a minute. I want to, give a couple more people a chance to roll in if they want. I'm going to go over now what's different with the gravy part. Now, normally it starts with your chipped beef. Back in the old day, it was way different than this, chopped and formed stuff. But usually, your traditional cream chipped beef on toast, and I got to stop myself and say hi to my brother Doug and Shar. How are you guys? How are you folks doing tonight? They are still on vacation in parts unknown. And I certainly hope they're having a good time and keeping the mosquito net down at night.
And this was requested by them.
Yes, this was requested by them. And I'll be letting you know what the next 2 weeks are going to be here in just a little while. But, so back to this. So the most common way you're going to see to make this is to, pop it open, slice it up, Cook it in a pan with a little butter. Add the flour. Add your milk. There's your gravy, and there's your cream chipped beef, and you dump that over toast. So I'm going to do that a little bit differently, and I'm going to start with some onions and some bacon. I'm going to just get the onion diced up first. So what my plan is here, I'm going to use most of this onion for caramelizing and mixing into the gravy, and I'm going to use some of it on top of my bread bowls and let it brown up in the oven. All right, so I'm struggling with this peel here.
John said it sounds very good, and he says that he usually makes biscuits with S.O.S.
Yep, biscuits pretty common. All kinds of stuff. Biscuits, yeah, they're easy, they're quick to make. You don't have to wait for them to like rise and whatnot. Oh, didn't necessarily want to cut it that way. Oh well, that's okay. So I'm just going to save some of this and set it aside. The rest can slice up. I'm hungry. So I'm just going to let it sit like that for a little while because it's going to take a minute for those to bake. I'm just going to be using the raw stuff that I'm going to use, that I just cut to put on the top.
Natalie Nicole said she's never heard of S.O.S.
You've never heard of S.O.S? Interesting. I think it was probably most popular sometime around in the 50s and like 40s as a cheap meal. I'm sure that you could, if you Googled it, you'd probably find cream chipped beef and its origins, but it's a tasty dish. It really is. It's super simple to make, and this is just an idea to do it kicked up. My brother said do some S.O.S, but kick it up a notch. So I didn't think making this like a spicy dish would be necessarily kicking it up a notch. I don't know if it would taste good that way. So I decided to kick it up a notch and change up how it's served and how it's made. So these are ready to go in. I'm just going to show you real quick.
You know, they said S.O.S is an army and a diner thing.
True that. It was served in a lot of households too, but yeah, it was a big diner thing. In fact, last year I did a 1950s diner series, and cream chipped beef on toast was one of them. So, okay, there's my bread bowls. Slide these into the oven.
Cindy said that her mother made it a lot when she was growing up back in the 60s.
Yep.
My mom did too.
Yeah, it's a pretty common dish, and I always liked it. In fact, I remember in the 60s up to the early part of the 70s, Stouffer's made a boil in the bag cream chipped beef, and so I always like getting that. In fact, I still think they make them. I'm pretty sure they do, as well as a couple of others from back in the day. The boil in the bag stuff before the invention of the microwave. The next best thing was the boil in the bag entrees. Does anybody remember those? I think you can still get some of the varieties they used to make at Walmart. I've seen them in the Walmart freezers, but yeah, they had all kinds: barbecue beef, macaroni and cheese, Salisbury steaks, the cream chip beef. Trying to think of the others. It's been a long time. That's pretty new stuff.
John says he's making venison lasagna.
That sounds pretty good. Are you like using a venison sausage? Is that? You know, I think that's a bit too long. Let me fix that. All right. Wanted to adjust my time a little bit. I don't think it was going to take as long as I put.
Amy Cakey, hello, Guy, and everyone.
Oh, hi, Amy Cakey. I'm glad you're here. Make it into Old Guy's Kitchen on this fine Saturday evening. We're in the process of making some S.O.S. stuff on a shingle. Only in this case, it's changed up a little bit. I'm just put some bread bowls into the oven. And I'm going to be adding some bacon and some onions to the regular, cream chip gravy that you would make. So that's coming up here in a minute. I just want these to bake some before I get started on the gravy. Otherwise, the gravy part doesn't take too long. I guess I could get started on cooking up some bacon. How's that sound?
Eli said he resisted for a long time to get one, but he gave in and he got an air fryer.
Nice. And how well do you like it? I mean, for like, your everyday fried stuff, like what you would normally fry? I've not used one. I've thought about getting one.
And John said yes, venison sausage.
Nice. Yeah, I've had some really good venison sausage. You would never know it was even made out of venison. All right, so I got most of a package of bacon here.
Amy says, ooh, sounds good.
Okay, I'm gonna get this crisped up, and then I'll use the fat from the bacon to cook up the onions, and then we'll kind of mix that all up at the end. All right, these I'm going to use one of my cast irons for that.
Tim said that his granny used to make chipped beef gravy with toast, on some toast.
Yep, that's the classic way. My mom, it wasn't like an everyday thing, or even really that common, but I can remember eating it several times as a kid, So.
Eli says, I actually do like it. It's like a mini countertop convection oven.
Nice. All right. Yeah, I got lucky on our little oven too. It came with a convection option, so I don't always use it. Sometimes it isn't appropriate for everything, but yeah, it definitely comes in handy. I will have to check out one someday. I suppose my waistline would appreciate maybe an air fryer.
John said no ghost pepper or paprika.
No, I don't believe I want to take it that route. Just want to keep it, like a family meal. Something like, Grandma has some bacon that's getting ready to, not be so good, so she's gonna add it, kind of thing. Oh, we throw some onions in there too. That, just something that you might serve your kids. They're not trying to take it in a weird direction, like really spicy or something like that. I want it to be like, so anybody could try this and maybe enjoy it. Now, if you want to add some, there's certainly nothing wrong with it. That's just not where I'm going this time. Oh yeah, I just love the smell of bacon. Especially waking up to it in the morning. I smell, but that never happens. All right. Let that go for just a second. So coming up, and now for at least the next, how many months did we figure? Like 5 months or something worth of suggestions, something like that. Worth of, okay, so we got at least 4 to 5 months worth of suggestions from y'all. And so what we decided to do is just start picking 2 at a time. And so we're going to let you know next week and then the following week what it is and who suggested it. And as always, folks, this is our dinner. So some of the ones that are more dessert oriented may kind of get pushed to the back a little bit. But we'll see what happens with those. But by and large, I mean, it's a very small few that can even be related that way. I picked up these onions I just dumped.
Eli says he's been putting barbecue sauce on everything.
Well, Eli, I'm really glad that you like it, buddy. I really am. And which one did you like most? Did you prefer the deep woods or the blueberry blevy?
And Amy Casey said, Eli, oh my God, that's my husband. He is addicted to Famous Dave's burgers.
For those of you that don't know, a couple of weeks or so ago, the question of Judge Cooter T. Bacon, what the T stood for on Cooter T, so I offered a jar or so of my barbecue sauce for the winner to guess what the T stood for, and Cooter T. Bacon. And Eli won. It is Cooter Tasty Bacon.
Eli said Tom's sauces have become my favorite. He told that to Amy.
Awesome.
And Natalie says that she's from the Midwest and we put ranch on almost everything.
Yeah, I like ranch dressing a lot. I don't use it quite as much as I used to, but I still like to make like fun variations. Like I do a Chipotle ranch or sun-dried tomato ranch, or you know what I mean. Just kind of change them up a little bit. Ranch dressing is pretty versatile.
Eli says, Tom, that's like asking me which kidney I want to keep. I like them both, LOL.
Wow. Okay. Wow, I guess you did like it. Holy smokes. Okay. Well, let's see if I can find what I'm looking for. I hate this. I'll just do this. It's time to get this out of here. Crispy bacon. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's really good.
Yeah, I know you smell bacon, but you don't get none.
I made some bacon breakfast bread not too long ago. I should have made a video. It was so good. Had bacon, cheese, and onion in it. Awesome.
Chumley smells bacon.
I bet he does.
He says he wants some.
I kind of, I don't know. spoil my dogs. Most mornings I have a couple strips of bacon with my breakfast, and I usually, you got one whole strip of bacon. I divide one strip between them. They each get half a piece of bacon. That's their morning treat, and they one or the other of them will be up on me, putting their chin on my leg, waiting for their bacon.
Joe said, Tom, I have my own sauce called Thunderstorm Paradise.
Nice. And is it a, really spicy? Is it a tropical type of, flavor, or tomato, or, there's all kinds of different kind of flavors you can give a sauce. Like the blueberry sauces that I've got. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It's made with blueberry.
Eli says I'm still in the term quat squat.
Quat squat? It's the new dance. For those of you that may not watch Trippy Food, on Saturdays he does this live stream, and for the last year and a half or so, watching these stream, well, maybe not for quite that long, but for quite a while, I've been just having fun with the word kumquat. It's a fruit that I've always wanted to try. I haven't had the opportunity. And Val has a trivia. He likes to do food trivia and things like that on his stream. And so as many times as I could, kumquat would be in my answer, right or wrong. It was, so anyway, from that come these little nicknames like Quat Bobber and the Quat Squat and things like that. It's kind of carryovers from Val's channel.
Lessa, I guess is how you say her name. Tim's mom said hi.
Hi, Tim's mom.
The Dad Cave. Hello, Tom and everyone else.
Jared, hey man, thank you. Hey, the opening will come out tomorrow, but I've got your gift in the mail, and thank you very much. I like it a lot. I'm looking forward to using it. I've used it already, and I'll use it again.
Yeah, Big Ben, Urban Explorations is there. How you doing, Chef?
Hey, I am doing great, and how are you this fine evening? And you're gonna have to run that by me again. Who came in?
Big Ben,
Big Ben.
Urban Explorations.
Big Ben, sir. I'm doing great. Welcome to the old guy's kitchen. So let me catch you guys up for those of you that just came in. The S.O.S. is on the menu tonight. We all know what that means, right? That's stuff on a shingle. And but I decided I was going to kick it up a notch, give it a little bit of a twist. So I've made some bread bowls. I made the bread dough earlier. Let it rise. I've got them baking in the oven. And to give the gravy a little bit of a change up, I'm caramelizing some onions. I cooked up some bacon bits here, and I'm going to add that to the chipped beef gravy, and then serve that in a bread bowl. And I think it's going to be amazing, and kind of a change up to the traditional S.O.S. Mike.
So John said his sauce is papaya and Carolina Reaper with pineapple.
Okay, so kind of a tropical kind of sauce. That sounds good, John.
Dad Keith said, right on, I'm glad you got it okay. Enjoy it, my friend.
Oh, I will, absolutely. And for those of you that are not familiar with Jared or the Dad Cave. He does like DIY wood projects. Like he made this Thor's hammer bottle opener. That's really cool. He does all kinds of cool stuff like that. So you gotta, go on over and check his channel out. Hit that subscribe and stuff. 'Cause he's same thing with anybody else here that's got a channel. In fact, if you're here and you've got a YouTube channel that you put videos out on, just go ahead. I don't care. You can drop your link in the chat.
So Big Ben said that he was over at Like Father Like Son,
Nice.
and someone dropped your link, so he thought he'd show you some love.
Well, that's awesome, bro. I appreciate that.
Sean in the Pack, Like Father Like Son raid, Like Father Like Son. Somebody else. Oh, Sheriff.
Oh,
John,
smokes.
Amanda, Nicole, and Demo and Need, Crazy Girl, Lindsay D, Nightmare.
Holy smokes.
Like Father, like Son raid.
All them people just came in the room?
Yep.
Well.
Amanda says, you're awesome, old guy. The Dad Cave
Welcome, everybody.
said that that's his favorite opener.
Wow, what a surprise. I'm glad you're all here.
Strange
Welcome
and
to the
trippy
Old Guy's
review.
Kitchen. I'm sorry, what?
A bunch more. Strange and Trippy Review, Diva Paranormal, Josh,
Josh? Holy smokes. Well,
Doris,
um,
Damo and Neen.
to all of you that just came into the room, that is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
You want to know what you're making?
100%. I am making S.O.S. Everybody knows what that is, right? Stuff on a shingle. But I'm making it a slightly different way, putting a new twist on it. I have got some bread bowls cooking in the oven. I made the dough a little bit earlier. It's baking off, and so I'm going to make the S.O.S. and it's going to going into, instead of going on toast, it's going into a bread bowl. And I'm changing up the gravy from just your basic chipped beef with a little butter, some flour, and milk. It's going to have that, but it's also going to have some caramelized onions and some yummy, crunchy bacon bits in there as well. So we are changing it up just a little bit. I didn't want to take it like to the hot side, so to speak. I didn't want to put in ghost pepper or none of that. Not where I wanted to go with this one. And my onions, I don't know how well you can see that.
Steve Russell.
Hey, Steve! Welcome. And, I'm absolutely amazed how many folks are here right now. So, that's super.
Some of them are getting ready to leave to go raid other channels.
That's cool. I'm glad you all decided to stop in even just for a minute and share part of your Saturday night with Old Guy in his kitchen.
Miss New York Cheesecake.
Miss
Doris.
New York Cheesecake. Welcome. Welcome to Old Guy's Kitchen. Whoops. That little blind fell down. Then fall down again. Well, this little guy, if it's too bright, just go ahead and adjust her a little bit.
It seems to be fine.
Seems to be fine, okay. I've got to fix this light. It's so blinding right there.
Yep, it is.
It's just kind of hard to see. That's all right. I'll be fixing that this week, and after that, it won't be so difficult to see over to that side. So we've got about 6 minutes left on those bread bowls before they come out. And when they do, I'll pop them out of the bowl, and we'll give them just, like maybe 5 minutes to cool down a little bit, just enough so I can handle them. We'll pop the tops off, hollow them out, get them back into the oven, get them a little bit crispy on the inside if I can. I want it as much toast-like as possible. In fact, I'll probably even throw the lids in upside down so maybe they'll toast a little bit too. We will see. We will see. They're almost done. I'll be starting the gravy here in just a second. I got a couple tablespoons of butter, about 3 tablespoons of flour. Oh, and I'm also going to add a little sour cream.
Tim's mom says that all sounds good. Steve Russell, I liked the video. Do you like asparagus? He asked.
I love asparagus. As a matter of fact, in the early spring, it grows wild around here, and we've gone out and picked great big bags of it. Wild asparagus. Yeah, yum.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
Eli said that was cool, of like father, like son.
It was. That was awesome. Just to roll in and
Yeah,
say
raid
hi
for a
real
minute.
quick.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a panty raid, only different. I shouldn't have said that. Okay. What have we got left? 4 minutes. All right. So, Mrs. Ogai, let's go ahead and what have we got coming up for the next 2 weeks?
We got sesame chicken.
Sesame chicken next week, and that was John's.
Yep.
So, John, next week is your suggestion of doing sesame chicken, and then the week after that, let me see if I can remember, will be Mexican pizza, and that was by Natalie's request.
Yep.
How about that?
John said, Tom, I recommend you make Texas hash next Saturday, but we've already got it.
Yep.
So, but I'll put it on
Yeah,
the list.
she'll put it down on the list. Next 2 weeks are already spoke for. In fact, the next little while is, unless there's something like special comes up or whatever, we might slip something in. But that is the case with that. So now we know what's going on for the next couple of weeks, and you know what to look forward to, and when your particular request is going to be coming up. So, wow, that was amazing. It was like
Yep.
all of a sudden being, like having your party
Diva
crash.
said, have a good night. She liked and subbed in the video and all that.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And who's that again, Derek? I didn't.
Diva.
Diva. Thank you, Diva. I appreciate it very much. If you have a channel, go ahead and leave your link, and then later on, when I can see chat, I'll check out your channel and see what you've got. So I appreciate you coming in, and I also appreciate the sub a whole lot. Yes, I do.
Natalie said, awesome. Eli said some story time videos with OG would be neat.
Storytelling videos. Okay. Yeah, I've been kind of thinking that too. I've got some good ones. In fact, I'll share a little one with you right now. It was about, I think it's been about 6 years now, maybe 7 years ago. There was somebody in a local town that was tearing out their old garage, and that part of it had a brick wall. And free bricks, come take them. So we went down, and I got about 300 bricks or so, and we brought them back up here, and I cleaned off all the old mortar and whatnot, and I built the smoker. I don't know if you've seen it on the videos or not, but I built my smoker. And the first time I was going to give it a try, we were just going to grill some pork chops. And they had some cherry wood, some little pieces that were maybe about that long and about, yay big around, kind of small. Had this little axe, little hatchet that I was cutting up some kindling with. And Mrs. Old Guy says, be careful. And I said, oh, don't worry, I will. And I went down to chop it, and I chopped my thumb. I don't know if you can see. You tell me, Mrs. Old Guy, if they can see that V-shaped scar. Probably not.
Too dark.
Too dark, yeah. So I chopped my hand really good, and so went to the nearby doctor's office and had me go on in, numb me up, put like 5 stitches. That was a fun one. That was a real fun one.
Natalie said you had 19 people watching at one point.
Cool. That's I believe that would be the most ever.
And Steve wants to know what you're making.
Steve, I am making S.O.S. Stuff on a shingle. Cream chip beef on toast is what it is. And usually that's just cream chip beef gravy, which is butter, a little salt and pepper, flour, and the chip beef with some milk. That's about it. Changing it up. It's not going to be on toast. It's going to be in tasty bread bowls that are coming out of the oven. Oh yeah. These look great. They should have made a slightly bigger batch of dough so that these bowls actually filled up all the way. But they'll be fine. Grab cooling rack real quick.
Eli says it sounds like the first time he used a 10-inch chef's knife.
Say what?
Eli said it sounds like the first time he used a 10-inch chef's knife.
Yeah. So getting back to who asked Steve asked what I was making. So the chip beef gravy part, I'm adding caramelized onions and bacon to it to kind of give it a different
Sour cream.
and some sour cream. That's right. Thank you, Mrs. Old Guy.
You're welcome.
Let those cool down for just a minute. I'll be putting them back in there in just a second. I want those to have a second to breathe out. And no, as a matter of fact, they won't be going back in. When they go in the oven, they're going to go in just like that. We'll put them in on that rack. I don't know if there's room. I might have to grab another one. But the thing is, I'll put them back and let that inside. It isn't necessarily going to toast, but it's going to dry out a little bit. And I guess I can go ahead and cut up this jar of dried beef. I don't know if you've ever seen this in your local grocery, but you usually find it like in the same aisle where Spam and other canned meats like that. Find it in there. You don't get a bunch, but it makes a cheap dinner, really. You could probably serve 3 or 4 people if you stretched it out a little bit. So I'm just going to cut this into some slices.
John said that he also suggests extreme pigs in a blanket, including ghost peppers.
Yeah, John, I think if you requested that already, we have it written down, I think.
He didn't.
Okay, well, it's written down now.
And Steve says he hopes the sauce making has been good.
Yeah, the sauce making is, it's good. It's just a matter of what kind of interest people have. I'm not, I'm not like selling gallons and gallons of sauce or anything like that. I just, some people have got some samples, and that's about it. All right, so let's get this, at least the butter in the pan. And we will get this in the oven here. How is this? Is it cool down enough to touch?
Natalie says that she's never had Spam either.
Spam? I hate Spam! Yeah, well, I don't suppose you're really not missing much. Some people really like it, some people really hate it. I'm kind of in the middle. I like it for some things and, in some ways, but yeah, for the most part, it's not one of my favorites. You're not missing Spam. Again with the knife. Let's find my bread knife. Got my junk drawer full of knives. And stabbed myself. I'm all right. I ain't bleeding.
Careful, Tatum.
So I'm just gonna cut this top off here. Oh, love the smell of baked bread. Mm-mm-mm. I'll get these tops cut off and I'll show you what we got going here. Oh yeah. Does that smell good, buddy? Oh boy, that's super hot. The top is nice and crusty. In this case, that's a good thing. Watch out, kids.
Eli wants to know if there's a dish you don't like cooking.
Yeah, I don't really care for making fish that much. Like fish. So, you guys look at that. That little bread bowl. Wah, 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 wah. Alright, so now, obviously I gotta pull the bread out of it. Super hot. Guess I'll grab a fork. There's a fork right there. Scoop that bread out.
Polly. Yep, get out of there.
This bread will not go to waste. Some of it I'll just munch on as we go here, but most of it I'll just dry out and put it in my breadcrumbs. So it will get used. Alright.
Sean wants to know, have you ever had squid?
Squid? Squid. Don't believe I have, John.
Eddie says, great idea. Bread bowl for S.O.S.
It is a good idea. Eddie?
Eddie?
Hey, Eddie. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I'm just now scooping out the insides. It smells so good in here right now.
It does.
It smells like fresh baked bread. I wonder why that is. This is going to be so good. All right, let's pull that out. Come on now. This is going to be great. All right. Getting there. Call that one good. Get the top. Ooh. Okay, well that one I'll leave alone. Guess I won't hollow out the top.
Eddie says he's doing great. He wishes he was here.
Yeah, it would be nice to have you come up and visit sometime.
Don, hi Tom. Finally I'm here. Better late than never.
Yeah, Don, you're never late. I'm glad you're here. We are just getting bread bowls ready to put a little S.O.S. in. And we all know the S.O.S. But this one's a little bit different, Don. I'm going to add some bacon and some caramelized onions to the gravy. And instead of toast, it's going on these delicious bread bowls. One more.
Eli said he was having a rough day at work the other day, so he went back to the gingerbread house video.
Uh, that was a pretty funny moment. I should have just left it alone. I should have just left it alone. Still might be standing to this day. Yep. Major catastrophe. I lost my builder's license and everything.
Don says, yum, sounds delicious.
Yes, sir. All right. Think I'm good with these bread bowls. Let's compact that down a little bit. Looking good. Oh yeah. So put these back in the oven. Including the tops. All right. Let's see here. Okay. So I'm going to give these like maybe 5 minutes or so. In fact, maybe I'll set my timer here.
Natalie says, if you want an all-exclusive paid vacation, where would you go?
All exclusive paid vacation. Well, I'd love to take Mrs. Old Guy to Europe. So, yeah. And if I had to be specific about the country, boy, what a difficult choice that would be. I suppose if I had to make a particular choice of country in Europe, it would be Italy.
She would either go to Hawaii or Ireland.
Ireland? Aye, kiss the Blarney Stone.
Don says he's going to try to make some old-fashioned oatmeal cookies. Do you have a recipe?
You know, Don, I believe, I may not personally specifically have my recipe for oatmeal cookies, but I may have my mother's recipe for oatmeal cookies. So I've got your email address, or just pop me another line, another message, another email, and I'll see if I can find it, and I'll message it to you or email it. So we get this butter melted.
Steve says he watches your videos for at least 2 hours a day.
Oh, that's really nice of you, Steve.
That's awesome.
And Steve, I'm curious, what state do you live in? You don't even, you don't need to tell me those cities or nothing. Just, state, works. Just curious where you're from. Eli is in Arizona, I believe.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure where Natalie is from. Did she tell me? I don't remember.
I don't know. Wild Man says hi.
Uncle Les, Wild Man, dude, I love that wig you wear. I swear, dude, if your cheeks were just a little bit rounder, you'd look just like a troll doll when you wear that. It's so funny. I love it. That's hilarious. And I don't mean that to be insulting.
Don says he'll send you one, and thank you.
Okay, good, yeah. Absolutely. All right, got to get this out now. This is where, I've kind of gone wrong before. First of all, if you've never messed with this stuff, if you've never used the dry beef, it's pretty salty. So I really never add any salt to it when I'm cooking it. And you also want to have it, give it a couple of minutes to really sweat out and let its kind of flavors come out. When you're cooking it like this, I'm going to give it just another minute or so, and then we'll start adding the rest of the stuff.
Natalie's from Illinois.
Illinois. Okay.
Eli
Nice.
says it's been in the 80s there already.
In Arizona, yeah, lucky dog. It's gonna snow like tonight through tomorrow and stuff.
Natalie says originally from Chicago, but moved to the middle of nowhere in central Illinois about 3 years ago.
Okay.
Ty Bolt's here. Hey, old guy, and chat.
Hey, Tybo.
I know it's near the end of the stream, but wanted to say hello.
I'm glad you did, ma'am. Hey, I'm gonna be a little bit. Yeah, you're welcome to pull up a chair and sit down.
Steve's from Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Nice.
PA, right? PA is Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Yep. All right. So what am I doing here? I'm gonna add the flour. I gotta grab milk. Let me grab the milk. We're getting close here, folks.
Yum.
The excitement's starting to build. At least it is for us. So I don't know, at least 3 tablespoons of flour there. Just gonna kind of get that mixed in. Oh yeah. Before I add the milk, I'm gonna put the bacon and the onions in here. Get it there. There's my 5 minutes.
John wants to know what's the best breakfast you ever made.
What's the best breakfast I ever made?
Yep.
Well, see, I'm not an impartial judge of my own stuff. You'd have to ask Mrs. Old Guy. What would be the best breakfast I made? My opinions vary. Isn't that what Patrick Swayze said on Roadhouse?
I'd have to say probably Eggs Benedict.
Eggs Benedict. Okay. There you have it. I've made her Eggs Benedict a couple different ways.
Yep.
All right, so there goes those caramelized onions in there.
John says that he finds it odd that the dried beef is always out of stock at his Walmart. I wouldn't think it's I wouldn't think it's a common item to use.
I don't know. That's kind of odd, I guess. I would think you would have it there too, but it's got a long shelf life, so it would come in handy in case of needing provisions. All right, so there is all the components, I guess, mostly except for the milk now. Turn the heat up. This is looking really good. I hope you're taking notes, Doug.
John says, yum, Eggs Benedict is awesome.
It is. It is really good. I made a Eggs Benedict version of Scotch eggs that turned out just beautiful.
That's on the list.
It is.
Requested by John, I think. Crazy
All right.
Dad says, hey Tom, I'm gonna go get some rest. My head's been killing me all day. Thanks for the good night, my friend. Take care.
Thank you, Tim. I appreciate you hanging out with me, buddy. Take care of yourself, brother. All right. Gravy is coming in. Oh, let's get that heat. Come on now. We're getting close. Super close. Smells really good. And this way is going to make it a little heartier, a little extra meaty.
Eli said those wild boar barbecue bacon cheeseburgers were perfect with the blueberry bouillon.
Oh, yay. And so, tell me, Eli, on heat level, where would you rate the blueberry blevy on a scale of like 1 to 10? You know, heat wise. How hot was it? I need to know. Oh, this is looking really good. Almost ready here, folks. It's almost showtime, folks. Step right this way. Look out for the swinging monkeys, ladies. Oh yeah. I believe I can call this food done.
Eli said that his heat scale is different from most.
Okay, well, then try and place it where you think most people would be at with it, I guess. Alright, I'm going to get some of this stuff out of the way here. Gonna fill some of these bread bowls. See if that's gonna fit. Yeah, good enough. Fit in that little dish. Also cut us up a little cucumber, a little balsamic. All right, another fork. The top to go with that lid, so something to dip. And we're going to start scooping out some gravy.
Yummy.
Mm-hmm. I'll set those bowls aside. Put your fork on the plate. This knife can sit back here where the good dirty knives should sit. All right. Fill that bread bowl. Whoop. That's what the plate's for. Fold that top on there. And, uh-oh, it's the alarm.
It's done.
All right,
Hello?
what did I do with my fork? Where is my fork?
You didn't add the sour cream.
Oh,
Oh, you failed.
I failed. That's okay. I can still do it.
You can still do it. Okay.
See,
Hi.
see there.
Good
See
thing
that this is what happens when family gets to watch. They can call me up and tell me I just screwed up. That's okay. We'll put that back in.
Eli said, good heat while still having amazing flavor.
Awesome. That's what I like to hear. Okay, well, I'm not going to put a lot of sour cream. I just wanted to put a couple tablespoons, so maybe that was like a quarter cup, maybe.
John said, do you like big red floats?
Do I like what?
Big red floats?
Big red floats? Oh, big red floats. Yeah, I had to think for a second. Soda pop.
Yes.
Big red float. I don't think I've ever had big red as a float, John. All right.
John says, your cousin Cletus video shorts make my day. Always makes me laugh.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. Cletus has been kind of falling behind here. I'll have to get his butt in gear. Okay, now. Give you some of these cucumbers. It's got the balsamic vinegar on there. Wink. Okay. I'm gonna give folks a look real quick. And there it is. I'll take the top off. I don't want to drop it on the floor though. So you're kicked up a notch cream chip beef in a bread bowl.
Tybalt wants to know, are your dogs around? How are they doing?
Oh, yep, they're here right in front of me. They're doing just fine. They're just being chilled out tonight for some reason.
Yay.
Yeah, I'm not going to complain. And our little girl is starting to get fat. So looking forward to those puppies. All right, let me get a bowl full here. You gotta let me know, Mrs. Old Guy. If it still tastes, the big thing is, it's still gotta taste like chipped beef. I don't want to change it up so much that you don't get that taste. So you're gonna be the judge. What did I do with my fork? I pulled it out. What did I do with it? One of those mysteries.
John says he also suggests hobo stew.
Beep, 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 beep. Okay, it'll be on the list.
And Don said you won't get that in the Navy.
Won't get what? Hobo stew or this?
Got this.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you wouldn't.
This is delicious.
Is it?
Mm.
All right. It does have a nice smell to it. Looks like it got some bacon, some onion on there. And I'm going to put that bite right on this top.
Yum.
Oh yeah. That's really good. The only thing that I may have wanted to add, you know, and I could just right now sprinkle a little black pepper on it, but it's just delicious, just like it is. It doesn't need any other seasoning, really. It's just perfectly the right amount of salt. Mm.
Steve, your suggestion is on the list. The buffalo chicken and dip.
Yep, your buffalo chicken dip is on the list, Steve. And I explained earlier that we'll be letting folks know 2 weeks in advance what's coming up, or at least a week in advance, depending on when you watch. But like next week, we're going to do the sesame chicken that John requested. And the week after that, we're going to do the Mexican pizza that Natalie requested. And your buffalo chicken dip is on the list. We're just randomly picking. So yours could be right after Natalie's. It's just going to be kind of a random pick. So I hope that answers your question. But I am going to do it. And I am going to do it, I think you said, to follow the direction that comes on the bottle of Frank's hot sauce. And I will do it that way. So, just got to wait till it comes up on the spin, I suppose.
Eli says he's craving bread bowls, and so is John.
Mm. It's so good. Bread. Mm.
It's really good.
It's nice and crunchy.
The onion gives it a good flavor.
It does. Yeah, the onion gives it a whole new kind of range of flavor because you get that little bit of sweetness from the caramelization. And a little bit of smokiness from the little bits that kind of get a little charred. That's really good. And the bacon, of course, it's got that smoky flavor. This bread, yeah. I think from now on, this is how I'm going to make if we're going to plan to have chipped beef.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to prefer to do it this way. The sour cream in there really adds an extra layer of texture and flavor. It's got a creamier consistency now. That is so good. I got to get a bite of this cucumber. Wow.
You don't get none, children. I'm sorry.
This, I sprinkled some of this Leonardi balsamic vinegar on these, and I'll tell you what, it is so good. I just love this vinegar. It's, I don't know, not, sorry, it's not super expensive, but it's pricier than most of your, regular balsamics, like your generic grocery store brand.
John says that he loves the taste of onions.
Mm-hmm.
And Tim's mom said, how about liver onions?
Oh yeah. Mrs. Old Guy and I both have had liver and onions. It's been a really long time. Is that a request?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well then it's on the sheet. And that's great.
Eli wants to know how it would taste with mushrooms.
I'm sorry, what?
How would it taste with mushrooms?
Oh, this I bet it would be great. Mushroom has, it's not a loud flavor. Mushrooms, kind of a mellow flavor. So I think it would probably go pretty well in here. It would, I think it would. I wouldn't want to put anything that's got a really loud flavor to it, like broccoli or something. I don't know. It's kind of crazy to say that, but something that's just, you want to keep the flavors pretty mellow because you don't want to lose the taste of the chipped beef, which is the whole point of the dish.
John said that he thinks it would taste awesome too.
I do.
And I got that liver and onions on the list.
Okay. Outstanding. So that's just going to go right into the list. And pretty much what we did to pick this next 2 weeks, I had the list in front of me and I just closed my eyes and pointed down. And where my finger landed are the two that we got. So we might come up with a different way to do it, but at least that seemed the way to do it for now. Just randomly pick. So we'll see where it goes after Natalie's Mexican pizza. So, and I've got some ideas rolling around for that. Some homemade sauce, and I'll see to what extent I want to run it. I might take it all the way from scratch.
No.
Yeah. Well, at least as much as I can. I'm not going to make the cheese.
John says, Tom and Mrs. Old Guy and everyone here, I love you all and God bless.
John, really, buddy, we certainly appreciate you coming in. We appreciate your support to our channel.
Yes.
So thank you very much. I do appreciate it.
Natalie said, would you ever try making a cake shake?
Sure.
That's on the list too.
Yeah, it's on the list. And that's one that I could add because it's a beverage, more or less,
Dessert.
I could add that to a dinner. Well,
Yeah.
you know, you might have a burger and a milkshake. So.
Yep. Eli said, thank you, Mr. and Mrs. OG, for another great stream.
Thank you, Eli. I appreciate it. Yeah, I suppose we should get on out of here. Finish our dinner.
John suggested navy bean soup.
It's written down. So it is written, so it is said. Or so it is said, so it is written in this case. I appreciate everybody tuning in to see OG on this Saturday night. You're always welcome in my kitchen. I will see you next Saturday night when we are doing sesame chicken. In the meantime, y'all take care of yourselves. Go out and help a neighbor. If it snows there, shovel their walks. If it is hot there, water their lawn. Do something for your neighbor. Help out at a community center. Something. Okay? Y'all have a good week. We'll see you then.
Steve says, take it easy, Mr. and Mrs. OG.
Thank you.
So, Chris left tonight.